Alrighty, finally a Friday. What a week. Every week is like a month these days, right? Finally Friday. Welcome back, everybody. The DEI Democrats may never learn their lessons, like forever, even after an embarrassing election swamping a loss and a societal shift away from their radical far-left ideologies. These lunatics are still obsessing over DEI, made-up racism, and inclusion. Here's a clip from the DNC forum proving that these idiots simply will never change their crooked ways.
Racism has not gone away since 20 people of African descent came upon these shores at Jamestown, Virginia in 1619, and it's going to require us to think and behave in a new way. It is systemic, it is structural. When it comes to addressing diversity, equity, inclusion, access, and belonging, that is for all people of the United States, that must come across the voting line as well. This is everyone's America. Our story has a new form of glory that must come to our shores as well.
Keep going for it, Dems. Keep going for that garbage. DEI got you smoked in the last election. America clearly didn't want your bullshit. They didn't want your freaking trans parades with little kids standing by with guys with their junk hanging out, dudes in dresses trying to sell you beer. It's over, Dems. It's over. Find a new platform, you clowns, or continue to lose to us. Love it. Plenty more to discuss. As always, let's react. And so that DNC forum, an absolute joke, truly outlines the catastrophic state of the Democrat Party. In fact, I would argue that these airheads are so radical, their party is more of a cult than a functioning political group. The good thing for us and for Republicans is that the Democrats will never learn their lesson. And instead of moving forward with new ideas and new focuses, they've decided to dwell on their past mistakes and feel sorry for themselves as Trump tries to save the country.
In this round, so I'm going to I have a show of hands. How many of you believe that racism and misogyny played a role in Vice President Harris's defeat? Okay. So that's good. You all pass.
Okay, so got it there. So it was racism and misogyny. It had nothing to do with the fact that she was a complete airhead, had no idea what the hell she was talking to, especially late in the campaign when that guy, that reporter in Pennsylvania said, so what exactly are you going to do about inflation? What exactly? And she had nowhere to go. She talked about her lawn. she was gone, folks. Oh, yeah, that's right. Trump won because America's racist and misogynist. She was half black, and she's a woman. Got it. Okay. Well, let's stick with the DEI theme, brainwashed DEI worshipers, shall we? Congresswoman, I use that term loosely, from Texas, Jasmine Crockett, who regularly reinforces her stupidity, doesn't want to see qualified pilots flying our airplanes. In fact, Crockett simply wants to see people who look like her.
I think that I've been somewhat effective. We also were able to get monumental legislation into the FAA Reauthorization Act that really flew under the radar, thank God. But this was funding to make sure that hopefully we can increase the number of African Americans and Hispanics that are entering aviation, which can be very expensive, but can obviously be very lucrative. And so we set up a situation where basically there will be full rides for those attending land grant HBCUs as well as HSIs to go into aviation. In this crazy anti-DEI environment, we were able to get that done.
Okay, I got an idea. Jasmine Crockett, from now on, you will only fly on airplanes that have DEI pilots hired. How's that? How about that, jazzy jazz? You can only fly on airplanes that didn't have pilots that are qualified or merit the opportunity to be a captain on an airplane, on a commercial. You will only be allowed to fly. And by the way, let's take it one step further. Not only flying, Jazzy Jasmine Crockett, you will only be allowed to have surgeons for your brain surgery, which you could completely use right now, transfer a freaking real brain in there. Someone who's been hired on the basis of their skin color or their sexual gender affiliation instead of the best surgeons in the world performing the highest, most important surgeries in the world, you clown. Moving on, we'd like to nominate the former president of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta. It's real his name, believe it or not. Not making this up. This isn't a parody. True, Uhuru Kenyatta, former president of Kenya. Can't make it up. To lead the DNC. Let's bring that guy over here. This guy seems to really get it. People in Kenya were bitching and moaning because Trump cut off America's blind money hose, siphon, fire hose to foreign countries. And Trump dropped a truth bomb on them. And guess what? Mr. Kenyatta dropped a truth bomb on the people of Kenya. Listen.
People the other day crying, oh, I don't know, Trump has removed money. He said he's not giving us any more money. Watu wanalia. Why are you crying? It's not your government, it's not your country. He has no reason to give you anything. I mean, hey, you don't pay taxes in America.
Again, that was Uhuru Kenyatta, the former president. Bring that man back. Bring that man back. In fact, bring him over here. Let's just bring him over here. Make him some sort of ambassador to the world for the Trump organization, Trump administration. The next generation of Americans is absolutely screwed, folks. Absolutely toast. Aside from the DEI and the woke poisoning going on, America's youth have been fed lies about societal expectations and realities. Our nation's universities are in complete shambles, a shit show. Students leaving college with no skills, crippling debt, which they ultimately asked the government to bail them out of, and Joe almost was able to do that simply because that's what they've been told is okay. Anyway, Montclair State University, a public school in New Jersey, funded by your and my tax dollars, just had one of the, let's call it strangest events we've ever seen. And by the way, they do so on our dime.
My name's Natalie Humany. I'm at Toy Bingo, and I want to.
Welcome to Toy Bingo!
I went to it last year, so I was like, I have to come again. You know, toys, bingo, great, love it.
Hello, we're coming to you from Toy Bingo, which is a super educational event.
The energy in this room, amazing. We definitely have some favorites, 100%. That is an overwhelming favorite right now.
Name's Alex Fonce. I'm at the Toy Bingo event. I won the silicone. I'm gonna have a super busy night tonight. Had a blast. Such good vibes. Great event. Learned a lot.
I mean, those America's youth, folks. And for those of you who are listening on radio, that was a sex toy expo that they put on at Montclair State University for the kids, for the students. Sex toy, like like college kids need to any more reason to bang each other. It's insane. Let's go. By the way, your and my money helps sponsoring Montclair State University. Brainwashed transgender Americans are starting to get their new passports in the mail. And by the way, before we tell you how much we're loving it, remember, Trump said no more X as a gender, no more weird shit. You're either male or a female, so watch.
In case you're wondering what it's like being transgender under this new administration, I just got my new passport in the mail and they changed the gender to male because of Donald Trump. In case y'all want proof, there's my picture, very cunty. And yeah, there's that big ugly M, yay.
Dude, I got news for you. You are a male. You got male junk. You're a male. I don't care if you put a dress on and put your hair like a woman. You're a male. You're not an X. You're not even a freaking female. You're a male. That's where you're born. Get used to it. Okay, folks, Truth Bomb here. But first, Truth Bomb, before let's do that, let's talk about Goya. Goya has been a sponsor with us, for us, from day one. 4 months now. We're 4 months in the can, as they say on television. Today is our fourth month show. Goya's been there from the very beginning. We love Goya. Food's great. People are great, very patriotic company, very pro-Trump, pro-America, patriotic company. In 2021, Goya launched Goya Cares, a global initiative to protect children and educate children on mental health. Goya Cares is providing schools and community centers with a preventative education curriculum and a free assembly that includes the viewing of the Goya Cares film, Press Pause. Press Pause is intended to raise awareness regarding mental health issues, abuse, and bullying among children, teens, and in our communities. Press Pause is an educational film following 15-year-old Sofia Rodriguez as she navigates adolescence, self-doubt, and an abusive relationship amid her parents' turbulent divorce set within the cultural context of her Hispanic family. The film explores her discomfort with unwanted attention from her uncle and the pressures of maintaining a facade of perfection in high school. It introduces the Press Pause campaign promoting kindness and advocacy, highlighted by Sophia leaving a note saying, "You matter," for a bullied peer. The film encourages open family communication about mental health and culminates in Sophia's transformative realization of her right to seek help through the power of empathy and small acts of kindness. Press Pause displays the importance of being proactive in supporting one's community and underscores the critical importance of self-advocacy. Okay, now for that truth bomb. So Jim Acosta walks off the set a couple days ago at CNN. He's learned nothing, apparently, just like the Communist News Network that chewed him up and spit him out the first chance they had. Take a look at his new show, folks.
Up at the top of your screen.
Yeah, I see that. I've got to work on my set behind me is one of the issues.
Well, that's part of the charm of Substack, Jim. There we go. Now we're live.
Oh, brother. Welcome to the world of digital, Jimmy, but you ain't making it happen. By the way, folks, if you're listening on radio, you can't see. He's got this logo. It looks like a communist, like the fist, you know, the communist fist. It's red. It came from the Communist News Network. Why not, Comrade Jimmy, giving the Soviet vibe off on his new show? But wait, there's more cringe.
We're going to get through this time, and I think it's important for people to know that there is such a thing as truth.
Yeah, truth. Truth. You came from CNN. Jim, CNN's getting buried because you guys lied to your audience. Now you want to be truthful? Good luck with that, my friend. Now, I don't know about you, if you've been watching these Senate confirmation hearings, I want these hearings to go on and on forever. It's the best TV I've watched in decades. I thought November 5th was brutal for the Democrats. Actually, I thought the whole Harris campaign and Biden campaign, for that matter, were brutal for the Democrats. It showcased their stupidity, their ineptitude, and how totally out of touch the left has become with America, with American values. But these sad, little, self-important leftist swamp creatures have screeched and BS'd their way through, melting down from, I don't know, President Trump's cool, calm, and collective nominees who said things like this.
Those who oppose my nomination imply that I am loyal to something or someone other than God, my own conscience, and the Constitution of the United States. Accusing me of being Trump's puppet, Putin's puppet, Assad's puppet, a guru's puppet, Modi's puppet, not recognizing the absurdity of simultaneously being the puppet of 5 different puppet masters. The same tactic was used against President Trump and failed. The American people elected President Trump with a decisive victory and mandate for change. The fact is, what truly unsettles my political opponents is I refuse to be their puppet.
The fact is, the Democrats, they had the chance to make Tulsi Gabbard the face of their party. She was a Democrat, but they didn't. Just one of the many stupid things about that party. But it was Tulsi's opening statement that was pure masterclass as she provided a play-by-play of leftist lawfare. It was one of the best opening statements ever and a sign of things to come when she unleashed on those deep state, those so-called 51 intelligence officials, and shady Hillary Clinton, and then some. Listen.
The American people elected Donald Trump as their president not once but twice. And yet the FBI and intelligence agencies were politicized by his opponents to undermine his presidency and falsely portray him as a puppet of Putin. Title I of FISA was used illegally to obtain a warrant to spy on Trump campaign advisor Carter Page, using a Clinton campaign-funded false dossier as their so-called evidence. Biden campaign advisor Tony Blinken was the impetus for the 51 former senior intelligence officials' letter dismissing Hunter Biden's laptop as disinformation, specifically to help Biden win the election.
That's why they're so afraid. She's that good. They don't want her. It's hard to find someone more unlikable than Adam Shifty Schiff or Elizabeth Warren, but Amy Klobuchar fights hard for that title, going well above her allotted 5 minutes to showcase just how annoying she can be. She provided us with at least two of the best cash shutdowns, or cash downs, as we're now calling them.
Did he say that the headquarters should be shut down?
Mr. Chair.
I deserve an answer to that question. He is asking to be head of the FBI, and he said that their headquarters should be shut down.
Mr. Chair, parliamentary inquiry.
You got anything you want to say, Mr. Patel, before I go on to Senator Lee?
Simply this. If the best attacks on me are going to be false accusations and grotesque mischaracterizations, the only thing this body is doing is defeating the credibility of the men and women at the FBI. I stood with them here in this country. In every theater of war we have, I was on the ground in service of this nation. And any accusations leveled against me that I would somehow put political bias before the Constitution are grotesquely unfair. And I will have you reminded that I have been endorsed by over 300,000 law enforcement officers to become the next director of the FBI. Let's ask them.
That was a beatdown. We call them cash downs. My boy, the way, if he had a microphone, he should have grabbed the mic from the Senate and just drop it, because that was mic drop. More cash downs to come, I hope. But first, for some levity, here's a hilarious moment with Senator Kennedy, who asks for another 3 minutes after Klobuchar got an extra 3 minutes for her shrill nonsense. Listen to Kennedy, he's always good.
Chair, thank you.
Mr. Chairman. Before we go to Lee.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, what do you want?
I love this guy. Mr. Chairman, I'm unlike Senator Tillis. I mean, if we're going to start this, I want an extra 3 minutes.
Well,
now, my friend Senator Klobuchar went 3 minutes over.
So, here what you're saying is the chairman wasn't a very good chairman by not shutting her up. But I've gone through this before, and I think I know how to handle it and get this done.
I think you're a star-spangled awesome chairman. I just want to say that for the record. But if you're going to let somebody over there go 3 minutes over, I want my extra 3 minutes.
Let's see.
You gotta love Senator Kennedy. Louisiana is lucky to have that guy. He's awesome. Tulsi Gabbard ripped Senator Mark Kelly after he accused her of repeating Russian and Syrian information, tells him Americans deserve to know when the U.S. government is supporting our enemies. Listen.
DOD train and equip program, again, begun under President Obama, is widely been known, looked at, and studied, that ultimately resulted in over $500 million being used to train who they called moderate rebels, but were actually fighters working with and aligned with al-Qaeda's affiliate on the ground in Syria, all to move forward with their regime change.
And again, that's why the Democrats dislike her. That's why they're afraid of her, because she exposes their mistakes, their lies, and their many cover-ups. That's why they hate all of President Trump's picks. They're disruptors of the swamp. And speaking of snakes, is there any bigger weasel in Washington than that one Adam Shifty Schiff? Yep, this guy is so petrified of Kash Patel's confirmation, you could practically smell the panic in his voice during his allotted 5 minutes. But his pathetic little Broadway theater failed him once again in his exchange with Kash, who's got it going on. It was a brutal thing. Behold.
I want you to turn around. There are Capitol Police officers behind you. They're guarding us. Take a look at them right now. Turn around.
I'm looking at you. You're talking to me.
No, look at them. I want you to look at them if you can, if you have the courage to look them in the eye, Mr. Patel, and tell them you're proud of what you did. Tell them you're proud that you raised money off of people that assaulted their colleagues, that pepper sprayed them, that beat them with poles. Tell them you're proud of what you did, Mr. Patel. They're right there. They're guarding you today. Tell them how proud you are.
That's an abject lie, and you know it. I've never, ever accepted violence against law enforcement. I've worked with these men and women, as you know,
You glorified it in song,
and I did not make a single dime out of it.
In song. Well, let me.
How about you ask them if I have their backs, and let's see about that answer.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Patel. Let me ask you this. If an FBI director promoted a song of people who sprayed pepper spray in the face of an FBI agent, would you say they were fit to be director?
Mr. Schiff?
Yes or no? Would they be fit to be director?
I am fit to be the director of the FBI.
Can it get any better? Cash has got it going on. I think it can. Hold my beer, says Cash here.
Do you believe that about the police officers?
That's a general statement and a mischaracterization of what I said. I encourage you to read the rest of the interview. This is why snippets of information are often misleading and detrimental to this committee's advice and consent process.
Well, if you consent, I would love to have 5 hours of questions, and then I could read the whole transcript.
You've got 2 minutes.
Wow.
Just one of the many examples of what these Democrats have done again and again at these hearings, trying these gotcha questions. These candidates are just fighting off bullshit gotcha questions, taking things out of context and having their asses handed back to them by Kash Patel, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., and the rest. But Senator Tom Tillis called it even creating a cash bingo card of the predictable BS the Democrats were going to use to try and destroy Patel in the hearings. Listen.
Sadly, I consider it a serious caricature of what I expect to be witnessed today. I think we'll have words like enemies list and deep state. I've already X'd out 4 boxes.
And just like that moment, F around and find out was a central theme of the hearings. Later, RFK getting sick and tired of Bernie's bullshit, so he reminded him just how in the pocket of pharma Bernie is.
Almost all the members of this panel are accepting, including yourself, are accepting millions of dollars from the pharmaceutical industry.
Oh, no,
and protecting their interests.
Oh, I thought that would come. No. I ran for president like you. I got millions and millions of contributions. They did not come from the executives, not one nickel of PAC money from the pharmaceutical industry. They came from workers.
In 2020, you were the single largest
because I had
receiver of pharmaceutical money
from workers all over this country. Workers,
you were the single,
not a nickel from corporate PAC.
Bernie got smoked by RFK, and RFK Jr. is right. Bernie Sanders took in $1.9 million from the pharma industry. $1.9 million. He was like 7th in the list, the top 4 of the top 5. Biden, Harris, Obama, and Hillary, those were the top 4. Mitt Romney was number 5. A couple down the list, a few more down, was Bernie Sanders, who took $1.9 million from Big Pharma. Of course, he's going to defend Big Pharma against RFK Jr., who's trying to take the ball away from Big Pharma and put it back in your and my laps. They work for us. We don't work for them. And that's what RFK Jr. is doing. That's what he's saying. And Bernie Sanders is pushing back on that idea because they grease his campaigns. And by the way, these guys come up, and forget this presidential campaign. BS. He got greased as well for his Senate campaigns. Never stops, folks. Never stops. Thank God we have an RFK Jr. who's going to get through. I guarantee he's going to get through, and he's going to leg sweep these jerks who've been making hundreds of billions of dollars in profit over high drug prices because they have monopolies on it. He can't get here soon enough. Well, you know how you can tell a Democrat's lying. Obviously, we talked about that. Their mouth is moving. Bernie can skirt it all he wants. He can even try to maneuver around the truth all he wants. This is a classic leftist gimmick. He and his fellow commie comrades have all sucked at the pharma teat, so to speak. Sorry. Seriously, give me 2 more weeks of these hearings. I want to watch these snowflakes cry forever. All right, well, so what would RFK say? When I say RFK, I mean Jr. Actor Tom Selleck treated himself to some McDonald's on his 80th birthday. Check it out, folks. The star of shows like Blue Bloods and Magnum P.I. was snapped by the paparazzi enjoying some of the fast food in his car. The Daily Mail called the birthday trip lonely, but a lot of fans disagreed. One took to X to say, quote, honestly, this beats any birthday party. Nice one, Selleck. Another responded to the Daily Mail lonely comment with, projection much? How much do you know? How do you know he's lonely? The only thing that would have made it better is if the Don himself served him some of those French fries. And let me just tell you, I think it's great Tom Selleck goes to McDonald's on the way to his ritzy, one of those dinners where you probably get a little piece of steak like this big and a little pile of mashed potatoes. He's going to chomp down a Big Mac on his way. Way to go, Tom Selleck. That's it, folks. Have a great weekend. If something comes up, we'll put it up, but I'll see you Monday.